You ever get to the end of the month, look at your bank account, and just wonder, where did all my money go? It's a feeling we all know. So today, we're going to break down exactly why that happens. And more importantly, we're going to look at one simple little shift that can totally change your financial future. Let's dive in.
Okay, so it all starts here, right? Payday. The money hits your account, everything looks good, and for just a moment, there's this feeling of relief, of possibility. Got to admit, it's the best part of the whole cycle.
And then, almost just as fast, it starts to leave. You got bills, groceries, that coffee you promised yourself. One little tap at a time, that number just starts to shrink. This is the part that feels so automatic, like you can't even stop it. And that leads to the big question we all ask. It's not even about the big planned expenses. It's all those small, forgotten little purchases that leave you scratching your head, wondering how a full account can suddenly feel so empty, so fast. It's like some kind of magic trick, but, it isn't.
So to really get this, let's talk about what we can call the disappearing money problem. And we're going to do it with a really simple story. This isn't about complicated spreadsheets or anything like that. It's all about our own psychology and our everyday habits.
All right, let's imagine we're in a busy market. It's buzzing with traders, customers. There's a constant flow of cash. And our guide for this whole thing is a guy named Coach Kobo. He's got a knack for seeing things other people miss, especially when it comes to money.
So we're watching this new seller who just had an amazing day. He counts up his earnings, 50 notes. Right then and there, he feels successful, he feels secure, he feels rich. And that's a feeling a lot of us can relate to right after we get paid, right?
But here's the thing about that feeling of wealth. It makes you want to spend. So a few hours go by, and he's treated himself. A little snack here, some new shoes there, maybe even a small upgrade for his phone. Each one feels like a small, deserved reward for all that hard work.
Later that day, he reaches into his pocket, and it's empty. He's just stunned, asking himself, wait a minute, where did it all go? The money didn't just vanish into thin air. See, as Coach Kobo points out, the seller was so focused on spending what he made, he never even thought about keeping any of it. And this is where Coach Kobo's lesson really kicks in. He shows us two different traders in the market. Now get this. They both earn the exact same amount of money, but they are on two completely different financial paths. I mean, just look at how simple and brutal this math is. The spender, he enjoys the full 50 notes every single day and ends the week with a big fat zero. But the saver, he makes one small choice, to spend just 10 notes less. By the end of a single week, that tiny little decision adds up to 70 notes in savings. That is a huge difference, and it all comes from one small, consistent habit. And Coach Kobo's definition of savings is just so beautifully simple. It's not some complicated financial strategy. It's just the act of keeping a piece of what you earn, instead of spending all of it. That's it. We tend to overcomplicate this stuff, but at its core, this is all it is. Now, this contrast right here, this is a trap so many people fall into. The spender, he looks wealthy. He's got the new phone, the new clothes. He's projecting this image of success. But the saver, who might just look normal, he's the one who's actually building real wealth, quietly in the background. And that's the huge difference between looking rich and being rich.
So for a while, both of our traders seem to be doing just fine. But what happens when life throws a curveball? What happens when an emergency hits?
And just like that, a storm rolls in. The customers all run for cover and sales just plummet for everyone. This right here, this is the real financial test. It's not about how you're doing on a good day, it's about how you survive a bad one.
And the difference in how they react? It's night and day. The spender, with absolutely nothing put away, he starts to panic. He has to go borrow money just to get by, and that starts a whole new cycle of debt. But the saver? He's calm. He just dips into his savings, his emergency fund, to cover his needs. There's no stress, no panic, all because he was prepared for a rainy day. His savings literally bought him peace of mind. This whole dramatic moment really reveals the secret to actually getting ahead. And it's not about how much money you make. It all comes down to a simple, fundamental rule for growth. And here is the core lesson from Coach Kobo. If you spend everything you earn, it's like you're running on a treadmill. You're working hard, but you're not going anywhere. You're stuck. The moment you decide to save first, to keep a piece of your earnings for yourself, that's when you finally start to move forward. So this leads us to the correct order for your money. Step 1, you earn. Step 2, and this is the crucial part, you immediately save.
And only then, step 3, you spend what's left over. The order is everything. Most of us treat saving like it's an afterthought, but the real key is to make it the very first priority. Now this is the trap. This is the model most people follow. They earn their money, they spend it, and then they just hope there's something left to save at the end. But let's be real, hope is not a financial strategy. This model almost guarantees you'll end up just like the spender, with absolutely nothing left when the rain comes.
And this is the final, powerful truth from Coach Kobo. It is so simple, but it is so profound. You can't build wealth with money that you just give away for snacks and shoes and upgrades. Growth only, and I mean only, happens with the money you consciously decide to keep for yourself.
So let's end with a question for you. Thinking about this story, what is one small, simple habit you can change starting today? Because as Coach Kobo's lesson shows us, the difference between staying stuck and actually moving forward, it often just comes down to that one single, simple decision.